First day of school Monday morning. That's why we brought in the doctor. Dr. Shimi Kang joining us, author of The Dolphin Way. You've been on the show several times, and of course a fitting time for you to join because of the stress that exists, the first day jitters.
Yeah, right now, especially after such a long break, kids have had a lot of freedom, unstructured, they've been playing in the sunshine. Now they're going to be at a desk, sitting in a classroom, meeting new teachers, new people, so it is a stressful time.
You know, there's a lot going on, and I always remember that first day of school, the sleep that you needed to get before that first day. I couldn't because of the excitement, but the emphasis on sleep, so important with managing this anxiety.
Yeah, so 40% of kids are sleep deprived because they're too busy, and we really have to be careful going into a new school year to make sure that doesn't happen. Sleep is the centerpiece of health, not just for the next day where the child might be sleepy or not alert in class, but long-term health issues. We know like things like blood pressure, heart disease, immunocompromise goes up when kids are sleep deprived. So really to focus on that as a key piece.
And what are we looking at for amounts of sleep if you're in elementary school and then going into high school and obviously university students?
So we say roughly 12 hours for younger kids, and some really interesting data on high school students. In the States, the actual recommendation is now for high schools to start later in the morning. We know teenagers have a phase shift, so they go to bed later and they wake up later, and when they get to go to school later in the day, they do better academically, behavioral problems go down, overall the school, the homes are better. So I think that's going to be really interesting to see what happens with that kind of information.
Sleep is one thing, packing those healthy lunches and eating well is another.
Yeah, especially breakfast. So kids need a good nutritious breakfast with some protein to last them through the day. But I think an important point there is to educate children why they need breakfast and to listen to their own body and signals. So, you know, let your kid know that when you're tired or you're cranky or you're having trouble concentrating in the classroom, maybe you need a snack, maybe you need some water. Kids are very dehydrated. We have amazing data, up to 80%, because of things like juice in younger kids, Diet Cokes and sodas in older kids. So really basic stuff like having a bottle of water can really help the learning process.
And you know, for stress itself, attitude's got to be such a big factor with physical and mental symptoms of stress.
Yes, so stress is stressful and it releases adrenaline and cortisol, and we can actually modulate that with some attitude shifts. And I say an attitude of gratitude is very helpful, especially now. Kids have actually had the idea that they may not go back to school for the delayed period of time. It's a really good time to teach gratitude, to be thankful for the learning process, to be thankful for the fact we have these systems, to say, yeah, there's some places that you may not, some things you may not like about school, but there's so much good stuff to be grateful for.
And the downtime, I mean, you can be grateful for all of the fun activities you have going on, but what about that healthy balance of parents that's saying we want to keep our kids busy, but you also don't want to overwhelm them with the responsibilities and activities?
It is a fine balance. Parents feel stressed. The world is competitive. We worry about how our kids are going to get ahead or keep up, but more is not better. Our brain functions optimally when it's in a state of balance. So you don't want them to be bored or understimulated. Also don't want overstimulation, too busy, stress, no downtime. When we take breaks, that's the time our brains integrate the processes of the messages of our day. So it's super important for learning.
Only a taste of what you'll find in the book. The Dolphin Way, again, is the book. Thanks for coming on, because we know this is an important day. You've got kids in school too, right?
Yes, I do.
What grades? What grades?
Oh, my goodness. Preschool, grade 2 and grade 4. It took me a minute there.
She's a busy mama.
Life is busy.
Busy mama. Well, thanks for coming on.